you'd like to join the classes live in the masjid, then click on the link below. Inshallah, it will take you to a Telegram group that has the details of all the class timings, the dates, the days, the addresses, and the locations of the masjid. So click on that link and hopefully we'll see you there, inshallah. Nowadays, brothers, wallahi, people have nowadays, they have destroyed the ummah, wallahi, by giving da'wah without knowledge. People have done da'wah, and because of it, it's resulted in bloodshed. Look at Syria. Look at what happened. Look at how many people were giving da'wah about 10 years ago when the ISIS thing happened. People I knew personally are dead now because they listened and they went and they died. Does that make sense? People keep asking recently, what's your view about the Taliban? Right? See, everyone's head just rose there. This is the exact same problem that happened with ISIS. I'm not saying they're the same, and I'm not saying that they're not the same. That's not my point here. My point is that people are behaving the same way. The ones who are going to teach us about whether the Taliban are good or bad is the scholars. Why? Because Allah said in the Quran, وَإِذَا جَاءَهُمْ أَمْرٌ مِنَ الْأَمْنِ أَوِ الْخَوْفِ أَذَعُوا بِهِ. When matters of safety and security, bloodshed, when these big matters come, people spread it. Social media, Twitter, he gives his opinion. وَلَوْ رَدُّوا إِلَى الرَّسُولِ. Allah said, if only instead of spreading it, they took it back to the messenger. وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْهُمْ. And the scholars who have the authority. وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْهُمْ لَعَلِمَهُ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَنْبِطُونَهُ مِنْهُمْ. They would have been able to tell you with the knowledge that they have what's right and what's wrong. So then the matters of safety and security, jihad, safety, security, governance, these big things, we look to the scholars. When the ISIS thing happened, the scholars initially didn't speak. Why? Because if they say they're bad, they've said people who are bad or not. But if they say they're good and they're hasty, they're going to send people to their death. They're going to send people to go and join a group that's going to take them to, that's going to make them from the dogs of the hellfire. The Prophet ﷺ said the Khawarij are the dogs of the hellfire. So the scholars didn't talk at the beginning because they were analyzing. Wait, let's see what they believe. What's their movements? What do they believe? Let's look at their books. Let's look at their scholars. What are they saying? What do they quote you? What do they believe? People were hasty. They started to listen to little kids. People who were jahil. Saying, let's go. Khalif, Allah, put his head. And this has always happened. Always throughout history. Happened at the time of Sahaba. Happened at the time of Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ. Happened at the time of Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ. These are the ones who killed Ali. And they killed Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhuma. Does that make sense? People didn't listen. And when the scholars started to come out and say, wait, no, these guys are dangerous. No, we know what they believe. We've seen it. We've seen the things they're saying. We've seen what they're doing. They kill Muslims. No, they're Khawarij, trust me. And they started to bring evidence. People were like, scholars for dollars. What these jokers don't realize, these same scholars, some of them fought in Afghanistan against the Russians. What they don't understand is the scholars like Ibn Baz, Ibn Uthaymeen were sending their students to go and fight in Chechnya. And they were encouraging people. You tell me scholars for... These are not scholars for dollars, brothers. You guys know that Shaykh al-Albani went and fought? He went and fought against the Zionists? The point I was making was that, for example, even when you look at Mashayikh like Shaykh al-Albani, he went and actually fought against the Zionists in Palestine to try and help our brothers and sisters. And this was in 1949, 1950, something like that. Sheikh Mashur Hassan, who was one of his students who's alive today, he tells the story. Recently, when just this whole thing happened, he was telling the story online. My point is that these scholars are not scared. The ulama are not scared. The thing is, they're very tactical when they advise. They don't want to send a person to their destruction. Does that make sense? You see, when you're young, people are hot-blooded. We see someone, army, fighting, look, we just want to... It's so much deeper than that. Does that make sense? It's so much deeper. And that's why Allah Azza wa Jalla said, if it comes to situations of safety and security, what do? You take it to Allah, Allah's Messenger and the scholars. My point is that when it comes to these things, we run into fitna, the wait for the ulama. They will guide. They'll tell you what's right. They'll tell you what's right. They'll tell you what's wrong. Because we don't know. We don't know. We have to learn lessons. Look what happened with ISIS. How people got misguided and they got destroyed now. Al-Qaeda, the same thing happened. The thing is, people don't learn the lessons. They don't learn. History repeats. So you have to be patient. You have to be patient. You have to look at the scholars, what the ulama they say. When we say scholars, we don't mean scholars in Saudi Arabia. Scholars all over the world. Scholars are in Somalia. Scholars are in Pakistan. Scholars in Afghanistan. Scholars are in Morocco. There's scholars in what? Algeria. Scholars in Egypt. Scholars all around the world. But they're people of the Sunnah. They're the ones that we want to listen to. They are the ones that we want to listen to. So that's why it's obligatory to learn this, because without learning this, people will give down, they'll do wrong things. And people's lives will be lost because of that. Their lives will be lost because of that.